Purdue will receive and defend the goal to our right, the south goal. Leroy Keys, to do everything halfback for Purdue, is the lone deep man for the Boilermakers. Joe Azzaro will kick off for Notre Dame. There's the whistle. There's the kick. Off to the side a little bit. Keys fumbles the ball at the 10, picks it up at the 12. He's back to the 15, 20, 25, 30, gets away from the tackler, and fights his way to the 32-yard line. Leroy Keys. Mike Phipps, the quarterback, hands the ball to his left halfback over right tackle, and he's outside the 35 to the 38 or 9-yard line, and the stop is made by Mike McGill. Offensively now for Purdue in the backfield, we have Mike Phipps, the quarterback, a sophomore. Bob Balso is the left halfback. Leroy Keys, the right halfback, and Perry Williams is the fullback. It's 2nd and 5, the ball at the 38. Phipps has the ball. It's a pitch out to Williams around the right side to the 40, and he's hit right there by Smithberger. Jim Smithberger. 6'1", 190-pound senior.
They were not about to be fooled by that, Jim.
Third down. Still 5 yards to go from the 38-yard line. Keys is split to the left. Balso and Williams in the backfield. Back goes Phipps. He looks, he throws, and it's complete at the 48-yard line to the 50 in Notre Dame territory at the 40, 30, and Shane knocks him out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Jim Burns, the fine split end of Purdue.
There is that combination, Jim. There is that very dangerous combination. Phipps to Burns, and that play covered an awful lot of great yardage down there. That's the combination that Notre Dame's going to have to watch out for today.
All right, Purdue's football. 1st and 10 at the Notre Dame 22. The handoff goes to Balso. He is stopped at the line of scrimmage. A fine defensive play by Eric Norrie, and there's a flag on the play. Talking about Jimmy Burns, the fine split end from Purdue, he has a career mark of 101 catches, good for 1,275 yards and 13 touchdowns. Keys goes out to the right side this time. Burn is split to the left. It's still 1st down and 10 from the Notre Dame 22. Phipps gets the ball, goes back to throw. He looks, looking for Burn. He fires, and it's complete to Keys at about the 16-yard line. Leroy Keys made that catch. And as we noted a few moments ago, Keys was the boy that picked off a fumble in the air last year against Notre Dame and rambled either 95 or 97 yards for a touchdown. So it'll be 2nd down and about, let's call it 7 yards. Phipps has the ball, back to pass again. He looks, he's being rushed. He throws the long one, and it's incomplete. Over the head of the intended receiver in the end zone. It was number 34, Bob Balso.
Jim, even if he had caught that, he'd have been out of the end zone, and it would not have been a score anyway. He was about 2 yards beyond that final strike.
6.5 yards to go, we'll call it. The ball at the 18.5 is, there's the snap. Phipps with the ball. Goes back, it's complete to Leroy Keys right at the 10-yard line.
That should be enough for the 1st down, Jim. Looks like it from here.
Has the 1st down. Phipps has completed 3 of 4 passes so far in the football game. I formation in the backfield. There's the snap. Handoff goes to the fullback, Terry Williams. Touchdown! Williams, 10.5 yards over left tackle for the touchdown. Bob Balso will attempt the extra point. There's the snap. The kick is up, and it's no good to the left. There's timeout on the field with the score. Purdue 6 and Notre Dame. Roy Keys boosts the ball deep to Rocky Blyer in the end zone. He's out to the 10, 15, 20, and to the 22-yard line goes Captain Rocky Blyer for Notre Dame. Blyer is flanked to the left. I formation in the backfield. There's the snap. Handoff goes to Harshman over left tackle, and he's out to about the 24-yard line before he's swarmed on by Lance Olson, 257-pounder from Staten Island, New York, and a senior. Second down 7, the ball at the 24 of Notre Dame. Terry Hanratty calls the signals. He has the football. Back to pass. He's being rushed. He's going to run with the football out to the 25, gets the block to the 30, and out of bounds about the 31-yard line. Knocked out over there by Dennis Serby. And he'll be just shy of the first down.
They almost had him about 4 times, but Terry Hanratty is a slippery guy, and you've got to watch him. You really got to bring him to the earth if you want him to stay there.
It'll be third down and about 1 as Notre Dame lines up in a tight formation with a wing to the right. There's the snap, the handoff, goes to Blyer, up the middle, and he's very close. I'm not sure he has that first down. It'll be close, and undoubtedly we'll have a measurement on this play. Chuck Kyle, the middle guard, along with Dick Marvel, the linebacker, combined that time to stop Rocky Blyer. Very close. The ball is spotted on the angle, just about at the 31-yard line. And he made it. It's the first down, Notre Dame. Hanratty, the quarterback. There's the snap. He hands the ball to Harshman over left tackle. He fumbles, however, picks it up, but is brought down at about the 32 or 33-yard line. Dennis Serby is making the stop for Purdue.
Here's a quick score, Jim. In the first half, Syracuse 9, West Virginia nothing. In the first period, Clemson nothing, Georgia 3. In the first period, Connecticut 7, Vermont nothing.
Gain of about a half a yard on that play, so we'll call it second, still 10. The ball is at 31 and a half now as Hanratty gets the ball, rolls to the right side. He intends to run with it. He gets away from one tackler, and he's knocked out of bounds around the 35-yard line.
That was a fine run, Jim. Hanratty is a very difficult man to bring down. He swung very far around the entire left side of the Purdue line, and it's going to be a long afternoon.
It's third and 6, the ball at the 35 of Notre Dame. Hanratty with the ball, goes back to pass. He throws. It's complete to Seymour at the 40, and he is knocked out of bounds on the far side of the field about the 42-yard line.
That's that famous combination, Hanratty to Seymour. Bar the door Nelly.
It's the first down, Notre Dame. Tim Foley making the stop on Jim Seymour. The ball now spotted at the 42. Harshman comes wide to the right this time. Seymour is in the slot to the right. Ducheny and Harshman are the setbacks. Hanratty gets the ball, hands to Blyer now. Check that. Blyer is stopped at the 44. Blyer was the set man in that backfield, I'm sorry.
Tackled by Kyle.
Chuck Kyle, the middle guard, makes the stop for Purdue. Seymour is split to the right. And that will leave Ducheny and Harshman as the setbacks. Back to pass goes Hanratty. He looks, he throws, and it's complete on the far side at the 45-yard line to tight end George Coombs. And that'll be enough for another first down for Notre Dame. A gain of about 12 yards on the play.
Hanratty is now beginning to find his targets with a regularity, and it's up to this Boilermaker defense to stiffen unless they want this ball game tied up very shortly.
It's first and 10 Notre Dame at the 45-yard line of Purdue. Ducheny, the only setback this time. Hanratty gets the ball, goes back to pass, throws over the center, it's incomplete. Intended for George Kuntz at the 32-yard line and just out of his reach. Going into this football game, Jim Seymour was the 5th all-time receiver at Notre Dame. It's second and 10, ball still at the 45 of Purdue. Hanratty calls the signals. There's the snap. He goes back to pass, rolls to his right, now throws. It's complete to Harshman at the 40, to the 35, to the 30, and out of bounds at the 25-yard line of Purdue. A 20-yard gain on the play. Hanratty to Harshman. Hanratty now 3 for 3. And I might mention that Jim Seymour came back and threw a fine block on that play.
Right you are, Jim. That was very interesting to see because Jim Seymour originally was the deep man. Harshman came right in behind him, and Seymour did come back and throw a very key block to pick up that additional yardage, and now the Fighting Irish have their first serious threat of the afternoon.
Seymour is split to the left this time. He gets the ball and throws to Seymour. It's incomplete. Hanratty threw that pass just a little bit low. Seymour could not hang on to it. And that's the first incomplete pass thrown this afternoon by Terry Hanratty, who going into this football game had completed 15 of 30, good for 208 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the ball at the 25.5-yard line of Purdue. Seymour is split to the left. Hanratty gets the ball, goes back to pass. He's rushed. He gets away from one tackler. Now throws the football, and it's complete at about the 23 or 24-yard line. Making the catch was Rocky Blyer for Notre Dame. That'll be a gain on the play of perhaps 2 yards.
It's a miracle to me how he ever got the pass off, Jim. He was trapped at least 4 times back there, but still managed to make a fine throw.
24. There's the snap. Back to pass goes Hanratty. Rolls to his right. Looks. He throws. And it is intercepted by Purdue at the 18-yard line. Making that interception was number 32, Don Webster, the defensive halfback.
That's one of that Purdue defense, Jim, that came in and stopped this first Notre Dame drive, but it'll still be a long afternoon for both teams.
On the 19-yard line of Purdue, 1st and 10. The handoff goes to Balsall over left tackle. He's outside the 20 to about the 22-yard line, where Dave Martin makes the tackle for Notre Dame. Purdue has the lead in this football game by the score of 6-0, with 8.5 minutes remaining in the first period.
That's a hard clock to read, isn't it?
That it is, Bill. Jim Byrne is split wide to the right this time. Balsall is set left. Pitchback goes to Keys around the left side. He's over the 20 to the 25 and fights his way to the 26-yard line. Chuck Lauf making the stop for Notre Dame, along with Bob Olson, the sophomore linebacker. Go wide to the right this time for the Boilermakers. There's the snap. Phipps is back to pass. He looks, he throws, it's complete to Keys. At the 35 until the 40 goes Leroy Keys, who is knocked out of bounds on the far side of the field by Mike McGill for Notre Dame.
And you know, Mike was the last man to have a whack at him. If he hadn't nailed him, he'd have been gone all the way.
Another first down for Purdue. The ball just shy of the Boilermaker 40-yard line.
It's interesting to note that we have not had a punting situation so far in this ball game.
Out of the huddle now comes Purdue. 1st and 10 from the 40. Handoff goes to the fullback, Williams. A flag on the play as he stopped at the 41-yard line.
The ball carrier.
Purdue obviously offside, I would think, Jim. Flags all over the field.
I believe that'll be the call, Bill, as Bobo Olson, as he's called by his Notre Dame teammates, makes the stop for Notre Dame. Olson, only a sophomore from Superior, Wisconsin. Byrne is in the slot. It's an I formation in the backfield. 1st and 15 as Phipps goes back to pass. He's rushed, and it's incomplete at the 40-yard line. Big rush that time by Eric Norrie for Notre Dame. The pass was intended for Leroy Keys, and he was guarded very closely by Dave Martin.
He looked like a diver going through the air to try to get that was hopelessly out of reach, Jim.
Jim Byrne is split to the right this time as Phipps gets the football, goes back to pass, rolls to his left. He takes the throw. He's going to run to the 40, to the 45, and stops right at the 45-yard line by McGill and Olson.
We've now seen that Mike Phipps, the sophomore, can certainly run that ball as well as pass. He is something to be reckoned with for the next 3 years at Purdue University, I can tell you that.
It's 3rd and 5, the ball now at the 45-yard line of Purdue. There's the snap. The pitch back goes to Keys around the right side. He's to the 45, to the 47-yard line, and he is stopped by Bulldog Olson and John Purdue.
Those were two pretty vicious tackles in there, both done simultaneously, and I wonder how he's feeling right about now.
And they needed him right at that point because Keys, with one more step, could have almost fallen for the first down. The ball now is spotted, though, at the 47, where it'll be 4th down and 3, and a punting situation for Purdue. Dick Berg goes back to kick for the Boilermakers, a low pass from center. Tom Shane is back to receive for Notre Dame. The kick is a good one. Shane at the 17, to the 20, and to the 25-yard line goes Shane before he's stopped. Now let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Notre Dame owns the football now. 1st and 10 from their own 25. They trail in this game by the score of 6-0 with 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Jim Seymour is split to the right this time. Hanratty gets the ball, goes back to pass. He looks, he throws the long one, and it is incomplete down at the 35 or the 30-yard line of Purdue. The pass was intended for George Kuntz.
That ball must have traveled 50 yards in the air, was easily 15 yards over the head of the intended receiver. What an arm that Terry Hanratty had.
He's the flanker wide to the right. Jim Seymour is in the slot to the right. On the wing to the left is Blyer. One setback as Hanratty goes back to pass. He looks, he throws, and it's complete to Seymour at the 35, to the 40, 45, and out of bounds at the 50-yard line.
A beautifully executed play, Jim. First of all, Hanratty gets back on the very first down, throws the bomb, then short with very, very good yardage. Here is a score that might interest everyone. In the first half, Michigan State 17, Southern Cal 14. That looks like a Donnybrook if there ever was one.
And Snow to the right. Terry Hanratty gets the ball, goes back to pass. He's looking for Seymour. He throws. It's incomplete at the 42-yard line of Purdue. And a fine defensive play that time by Tim Foley, who hit Jim Seymour as he went up into the air to receive the football.
Here's some more scores very quickly. Xavier 7, Miami of Ohio 6 in the first period.
2nd and 10, Notre Dame from their own 49-yard line. Hanratty goes back to pass again. He looks, he throws. It's complete at the 40-yard line to Jim Seymour. And that'll be enough for another first down. He's driven out of bounds immediately by Tim Foley.
More on that American League race. The Detroit Tigers still hanging in there. Willie Horton hit a home run for Detroit in the first with one on. Detroit leads California 2-0.
There's the snap. It's a draw play to Dushme, and he's to the 35, to the 33-yard line. He slips and falls.
And he is rather unhappy with himself because he had good yardage ahead of him had he not slipped. That was a beautiful call by Hanratty. His passing has been so successful. To do the draw that way was really a fine call for a quarterback.
There's the snap. The handoff goes to Blyer. He jumps over left tackle to the 30-yard line where he's dropped. He'll be close to the first down. However, I believe he is about a half a yard shy. Making the stop, Fred Rappa and Dick Marble for the Boilermakers. For Notre Dame, it's Dushme and Blyer in the backfield. There's the snap. Quarterback sneak. It looks like a fumble, and there's also a flag on the play. So we have just about everything that can happen. Purdue is called offside. On that quarterback sneak by Hanratty, it looked as though he lost control of the football for just a moment. However, he was able to retrieve it, and we get the signal from the referee that Purdue is ruled offside.
So that'll be a first down for Notre Dame and really put them in fine position, fine field position here, Jim.
Out to the right this time comes Snow. Seymour is split to the left. I formation in the backfield. Hanratty, the quarterback, gets the ball, goes back to pass, rolls to his right. He looks. He's going to run with the football to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and to the 1-yard line goes Terry Hanratty.
What a beautiful run. What a threat this Hanratty is. He faded back after a beautiful fake handoff, came wide around. kept going, picked up steam. Notre Dame now knocking at that goal line, a chance to go ahead with the extra point.
Dan Harshman into the football game now, replacing Paul Snow. It's Notre Dame's football. First and goal on the 1-yard line as Hanratty traveled 24 yards to the 1. Hanratty barks the signals. There's the snap. He keeps the football. Touchdown.
Jim, he just backed up after a fake handoff and popped right over left guard into that end zone. Well deserved.
So it's all tied up, 6-6 here at Ross-Ade Stadium in Lafayette, Indiana. Purdue, Notre Dame, Joe Azzaro in the football game now for the Irish to attempt the extra point. Terry Hanratty will hold, and they're all set to go. There's the snap, the kick is up in the air, and it's good. So Notre Dame has the lead in this football game, 7-6, with 2 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
We're all set to go again.
No argument there, Bill. Seymour has caught 3, good for 44 yards. There's the kick. Keys is deep for Purdue. He takes the ball at the 10, back to the 15, 20, and to the 25, 27-yard line before he's brought down. Keys is split to the right this time, Byrne to the left. And Notre Dame jumps offside. And we'll have to wait and see what the official calls. Here, of course, it looks like Notre Dame was offside. However, it may have been illegal procedure against both teams, and now it's called against Purdue.
I think what happened, Jim, was that they made a fake motion and pulled Notre Dame offside, and that's exactly what the penalty is going to be.
Keys is flanked to the right. Mike Phipps, the sophomore quarterback, gets the ball, goes back to pass. He looks, he throws, it's incomplete. Intended for Jim Byrne on the left side at the 30-yard line. Defended against for Notre Dame by Tom O'Leary and Dave Martin.
You won't see Jim Byrne drop many of those. That was right on his fingertips.
Boilermakers out of the huddle. There's the snap. Phipps goes back to pass. He's looking long, and he throws long to Keys. And it's over his head, incomplete, but there's a flag on the play. It'll be pass interference called against Jim Smithberger of Notre Dame.
Well, Jim, that's one of the first big breaks of this ball game that can happen any time. And I don't know whether you noticed, but in protecting Mike Phipps, one of the linebackers threw the most vicious block of the game back there. And now here is Purdue knocking at that door once more.
Gary Roberts comes in for Purdue. Comes out to the left, Byrne is to the right. Mike Phipps gets the ball, goes back to pass, he looks, he throws, and it is incomplete on the far side of the field, intended for Bob Baltzell. Defended against for Notre Dame by Mike McGill and Jim Smithberger.
McGill had him covered all the way. Absolutely no chance to really gain possession of that ball inbounds.
2.5 minutes remaining. It's 2nd and 10, the ball at the Notre Dame 32-yard line. Keys is out to the left, Byrne is to the right. Phipps back to pass, throws to Keys, incomplete. That was a quick slant-in pattern intended for Leroy Keys, but it was over his head.
Beautifully called play, Jim. Just was about a foot too high for that receiver to get his hands on it. Otherwise, big yardage, maybe all the way.
As Purdue is out of the huddle with 3rd and 10 from their own, or I should say from the Notre Dame 32-yard line. Phipps has the ball. He's back to pass. He looks, he throws, and it's long. It's incomplete, but there's interference called once again. Interference called on Mike McGill of Notre Dame, who was guarding Bob Baltzell.
That was, I think, Jim, pretty obvious to everyone, including Mike McGill, because he made no protest of it. He just blocked the man's way all the way down there.
Jim Byrne is split to the left. Leroy Keys is flanked to the right. Back to pass goes Phipps, the quarterback. He throws the ball, still incomplete at the 8-yard line. Over his head. He was guarded very close by Dave Martin.
Well, we have a new record attendance for the home games of Purdue University, which has been set this afternoon. The attendance is 62,316.
Jim Byrne is split to the right. It'll be Baltzell and Williams in the backfield for Purdue. There's the snap. There's a flag on the play and a whistle. Delay of game penalty will be called against Purdue. Byrne is the slot man. Baltzell and Williams are in the backfield. Phipps goes back to pass. He looks, he throws, and it's complete at the 15 to Byrne. He gets away from one tackler to the 10, to the 5, and knocked out of bounds by Tommy Shane.
Trying to guard both those very, very dangerous men, Jim, is an awful job, and I can understand that any team in the country would have a real tough time with an arm like Phipps' accuracy and the poise that he has, and two great abilities on pass receiving.
And the ball is spotted at about the 6.5 or 7 yard line, so that'll be a gain of close to 15 yards, and we're going to have a measurement for the first down. It'll be third and about a foot. At the 7 yard line, Phipps keeps the ball. First down, he fumbles, however. Wait a minute here. He had the first down, but fumbled backward. We'll have to see where that ball is spotted. He was all the way to the 5 yard line before he fumbled the football. And he loses about a yard on that fumble. The ball now at the 7.5 or 8 yard line. It'll be fourth down. And about a yard now to go for that first down. With 4th and 2 at the 7 or 8. The flip goes out to Keys, and he gets away from 1-2 tacklers. Wow. And let's see, it's going to be very, very close to that first down. And give all the credit in the world that time to Leroy Keys if Purdue has a first down, because he danced around 2 Notre Dame tacklers. But I don't believe he made the first down.
Doesn't look so from here, Jim. But it looked initially as though he had been trapped for quite a loss.
And Notre Dame takes over. Handoff goes to Blyer right up the middle. He's outside to the 10 and to the 12 yard line before he's dropped. Bob Corby making the stop along with Dick Marver for Purdue.
That Bob Blyer, pure sheer strength, picked up those yards. I didn't see any hole at all in the right side of the Purdue line, and yet he picked up 3 or 4.
Seymour is split wide to the left this time. Hanratty with the football. Hands off to Blyer over right tackle, and he may have gained a yard. Blanton King making the stop for Purdue, along with Chuck Kyle. Now Notre Dame faced with a third down situation. The ball at their own 14-yard line, and about 2.5 to 3 yards to go for the first down. For Notre Dame, there's a half a minute left here in the first period. Hanratty hits the ball, moves to his left, and boy, is he chased. He's chased back at the 5. He's coming around to the right now to the 10. He's got some blocking. He's back to the line of scrimmage, and he's out to about the 17-yard line, and he's got the first down. What a job by Terry Hanratty. He rolled to his left that time and was trapped. Went all the way back, retreated to his 5, came around the right side and picked up the first down.
Well, you have to see this young man to believe it. At least 9 Purdue players had a shot at him, and none of them could bring him down. And it was a very important down for them to make. And that's the end of the first quarter with the score Notre Dame 7.
Blyer and Ducheney are the setbacks for Notre Dame. Hanratty has the football, hands off to Ducheney, right up the center, outside the 20 to the 24-yard line. Lance Olson making the stop for Purdue.
As we started to say, Jim, that last play of the first quarter could have been a very big one, because instead of a punting situation with Purdue having very good field position, Notre Dame still retains possession, and they have breathing room now. We'll see what Terry Hanratty can do.
It's second down and 6. The ball at the 23 of Notre Dame. Hanratty gets the football, back to pass. He's got protection. He looks, complete to Seymour at the 40, to the 45, to the 50, and out of bounds on the far side of the field. Hanratty to Seymour. Don Webster making the defensive play for Purdue.
Ball is on the Notre Dame 49-yard line.
Ball is spotted at the 49-yard line, where it'll be another first down for the Irish. They have 8 in the football game thus far. Snow is split to the left, Seymour to the right. Hanratty has the ball, back to pass, over the center to Seymour, complete at the 41-yard line of Purdue.
Here comes Terry Hanratty going to his favorite receiver, Jim Seymour, and it's awfully tough, if not impossible, to stop. Here are some quick scores in the first period. Missouri 7, Northwestern 6 in the first period. Oregon State 21, Iowa nothing.
42-yard line of Purdue. It'll be 2nd and 1. Hanratty gets the ball, back to pass. He's got protection. He throws it complete to Coons, but he dropped the football, and they're going to call it incomplete. That was a simultaneous catch and defensive play, and a good one by Dennis Serbies, the left side quarterback for Purdue. Coons had it right in his hands, and just at the moment he touched the football, Serbies hit him, and he dropped it. Snow and Seymour, both to the left side. Hanratty keeps the football and dives to very close to the first down, over the right side. And we will wait. He is very close. We'll have a measurement.
Here are some more scores, Jim, while we wait. At the end of the first half, Cornell 14, Bucknell nothing. In the first period, VMI and Richmond no score. In the first half, Ohio University 14, Kent State 7. And here at Age Stadium, Ross Age Stadium, Lafayette, Indiana, Notre Dame, 1-point lead, 7-6 over the Boilermakers of Purdue.
Ducheney and Blyer, the setbacks for Notre Dame. Hanratty, the quarterback. There's the snap. It's the draw play to the fullback, Ducheney, and he gets nowhere.
That's one play that fooled nobody.
Big Fred Raffa in there along with Chuck Kyle and Lance Olson to make the stop for the Boilermakers. A 2-yard loss on the play. It'll be 2nd and 12. The ball now at the 43-yard line of Purdue. Seymour in the slot. Paul Snow outside of Seymour. There's the snap. Back to pass goes Hanratty. He looks. He throws. It is going to be called incomplete. And the fans, you can hear them on that one. They thought that ball was intercepted by Purdue. Defensive halfback Don Webster looked like he might have intercepted the football. However, it's ruled incomplete.
I think it was more a question of trying to steal it than intercept it, and I think it touched the ground anyway.
Fred Burke comes in at linebacker. Notre Dame center with 3rd and 12 at the 43 of Purdue. Terry Hanratty gets the ball, goes back to pass. He looks. Throws down the middle, and it is incomplete at the 30-yard line. That ball was into and out of the hands of the intended receiver for Notre Dame.
There seems to be a penalty flag down, Jim, and we'll find out what the infraction is and on whom in just a minute.
Dennis Serbies goes back for Purdue. There's the kick. Good spiral this time. Tim Foley is also back there. The ball bounces at the 5 and stops at the 3-yard line. Seymour has caught 5 for 68 yards so far in the football game. There's the handoff to Baltzell over the center, and he's out to perhaps the 3 or 4-yard line. He's stopped by the entire center of that Notre Dame line.
Right now, Mike Phipps is just worrying about breathing room.
2nd and 8. The ball now at the 3.5 as the handoff goes to Williams, the fullback, who tries the left side and does not get to the 5-yard line. Chuck Lauck making the stop for Notre Dame along with Dave Martin. 12 minutes remaining here in the first half. Notre Dame leading in the football game by the score of 7-6. Leroy Keys flanked wide to the right this time for Purdue. Mike Phipps directing the attack. It's going to be a quick kick. He took the football, pitched it back to Baltzell, and Baltzell booted the ball, and it's rolling down to the 45, the 44, the 43-yard line of Notre Dame.
A great call, absolutely, Jim, a great call and a great quick kick. It caught Notre Dame napping, put them out of immediate danger, the ball being now spotted on about the 42.5-yard line of the Fighting Irish from Notre Dame.
Jim Seymour is split to the left. Hanratty gets the football. He's back to pass. Looking. Rush. He throws long to Snow. It's incomplete at the 25-yard line of Purdue. Defending back there was Dennis Serby. And you'll recall the man of just a few years ago who caught many, many passes for Notre Dame, a boy by the name of Jack Snow, who is now playing with the Los Angeles Rams. Second down and 10, the ball at the 43 of Notre Dame. Seymour and Snow are out to the right. Seymour in the slot. There's the snap. Back to pass goes Hanratty. He throws. It's to Kuntz. It's complete at the 47-yard line of Purdue. Serby making a defensive play for Purdue. Very close to the first down. And that's the first pass of the year, the first reception of the year for George Kuntz, the young junior from Arcadia, California. And boy, he's a big one, 6'5", 250 pounds. The ball at the 47.5-yard line of Purdue. Terry Hanratty calls the signal. Duchney right up the middle. He's got the first down. He's inside the 45-yard line of Purdue. It's 1st and 10. Notre Dame at the 45-yard line of Purdue. Snow to the right. Hanratty goes back to pass. He looks, he throws. And it is incomplete at the 38-yard line. The pass intended for Paul Snow. The defensive play was made over there by Dennis Serby for Purdue.
That was a pretty good bootleg by Terry Hanratty. He hid that ball right behind his back, threw very, very fast, as he always does on those passes, and it's pretty difficult to gather in unless it's right on your hands, and that was a little bit overthrown.
Paul Snow and Jim Seymour both to the right, with Seymour in the slot on that side. Hanratty gets the ball. It's going to be a screen to the right, but the screen man is covered, so he throws long. It's intercepted by Purdue. 40-yard line, Tim Foley.
Well, there was the case, Jim, when Hanratty had plenty of time and good blocking, rolled out to the right, almost slow motion. But the alert Purdue defense came up with that all-important interception to snuff out what could have been a very serious threat, and now themselves are in pretty good field position.
1st and 10, Purdue from their own 39. There's the snap. Phipps goes back to pass. And what a passing game this is. He throws to Keys. He's complete at the 46-yard line. He's hit immediately and brought down by Jim Smithberger.
That was a remarkable catch by Keys because he was hit almost as he had his hands on the ball and driven back about 3 yards, but he hung on to it. Another completion for that brilliant quarterback, Mike Phipps.
Byrne goes to the left. Balso in the slot to that side, and Keys is to the right. Phipps keeps the ball on the quarterback sneak, and he's close to the first down. Olson making a stop along with Bergine and Eric Norrie. And we get a little reaction from the Purdue crowd here as they felt referee Howie Wirtz placed that ball just a little bit shy of where they would like to have it placed. Mike Phipps is the quarterback. There's the snap. He keeps the ball, and I don't know. It's close to the first down. I believe he's short. The entire center of that Notre Dame line, Bill, was in there that time.
Absolutely. You had practically a 9-man line in there against him, and it does look as though he missed. And that was another big play if he did miss. The question is, if he did, will they go for the first down? At any rate, with the time remaining, the second quarter about half over.
Notre Dame and Purdue. There's the snap. Handoff goes to Williams. He's got the first down, but there's a flag on the play, and it's going to be against Purdue. Perry Williams, the fine fullback for Purdue, took that ball over left tackle about 5 yards. However, it looks like they're going to call a penalty against the Boilermakers.
And this, of course, Jim, will bring up a punting situation now for sure for the Boilermakers of Purdue.
Who just about every game returns a punt at least 25 yards. There's the kick. The kicker is knocked down. Shane gets the football, fumbles it at the 25, and falls on it right there. There is no flag on the play, however. The kicker was knocked down, but as I said, there's no flag.
Jim, that was the greatest piece of acting I have ever seen in my life. Actually, he was just brushed. He fell on his back as though he had been mortally wounded.
They also have the football. 1st and 10 from their own 25. Hanratty gets the ball. He's back to pass again. He looks, and he throws. It's complete to Duchesne at the 30. He slipped and fell down at the 35. And is he a disgusted young man?
That's the second time he's slipped, isn't it, Jim? And he could have had additional long yardage.
It'll be 2nd and 2 at the 34. Hanratty, the quarterback. There's the snap. The handoff goes to Blyer. The first down, he has it to the 40 and to the 42-yard line. As Seymour goes to the right, and to the left is Bill Hurd. Handoff goes to Blyer right up the center on a counter play, and he's over the 45 to the 48-yard line.
Ball carrier was Blyer.
If I said Bill Hurd was split a moment ago, correct that. It was Paul Snow. There's the snap. Hanratty back to throw again. He's rushed and really hit that time. As he got the pass away, it's incomplete. Frank Burke that time, the linebacker on the blitz, came in and really nailed Terry Hanratty. 49-yard line of Notre Dame. Hanratty gets the ball, fakes the draw play, throws the screen to the right to Duchesne. He's got it to the 50, over the 50, and down to the 45-yard line of Purdue, where it'll be a first down.
That was great extra effort on Duchesne's part. He was stopped at least 5 yards sooner down the field, and he just by sheer desire and drive picked up that extra 5 or 6. There's timeout on the field with the score Notre Dame 7, Purdue 6.
Snow and Seymour out to the left for the Irish. Hanratty gets the football, throws down the center, and it is incomplete. Intended for Seymour at the 27-yard line. It bounced off the top of his hands, and Dennis Serby, the defensive back for Purdue, almost intercepted the football.
Here are a few other scores for you. At the end of the first half, Ohio State 7, Arizona 7.
Irish out of the huddle. Seymour split to the right. Hanratty goes back to pass again. Screen pass to the right. It's complete to Harshman, and he's down right at the line of scrimmage. Fine defensive play over there by linebacker Frank Burke for Purdue. No gain on that screen pass to Dan Harshman. Harshman goes out of the ball game now. He's replaced by Paul Snow. 3rd down and 11 yards to go for the first down. Terry Hanratty calling the signals for the Irish. Straight back to pass again. He looks, he throws, and it's incomplete at the 30-yard line of Purdue. That's intended on the far side of the field for Jim Seymour. Defending on the play was Tim Foley, and now we see that there's a flag on the play. Illegal procedure is being called against Purdue. And that'll move the ball to the 40-yard line. 3rd down and 6, Notre Dame. Hanratty throws quickly out to Seymour. It's complete to the 35-yard line, and driven out of bounds on the far side is Jim Seymour by Tim Foley of Purdue. However, I believe he has the first down. Yes, he has. Another first down, Notre Dame. And that marks their 13th first down of the football game. It's 1st and 10, Notre Dame at the 34-yard line of Purdue. Hanratty back to pass again, throws over the center. It's complete to big George Kuntz at the 22-yard line, and he's dropped by Dennis Serby.
We've certainly seen, Jim, today some aerial circus performance by both Hanratty and Mike Phipps. Notre Dame having a 1-point edge at the moment, 7-6.
It's 1st and 10, Notre Dame at the 22 of Purdue. Back to pass again. Goes Hanratty, throws over the center to Kuntz. It's complete at the 10-yard line. Bob Corby making the stop on George Kuntz. 2 in a row for Big George as he falls forward to the 8-yard line. Well, let's call it the 9. 1st and goal, Notre Dame at the Purdue 9-yard line. It's Seymour. Split wide to the left. There's the handoff to Ducey, the fullback, over left tackle, and he's down to about the 6-yard line. At the 6-yard line of Purdue. There's the snap. Hanratty goes back to throw again. He's looking. He's going to have to run with it. He's brought down at the 7-yard line. Bob Holmes, the right defensive end for Purdue, made the stop that time on Hanratty.
Ball is on the 7-yard line.
He was looking for his swing man out of the backfield that time to throw to, but he was covered. Delay of the game against Notre Dame. Paul Snow is split to the left. I formation in the backfield. There's the snap. Back to pass goes Hanratty. He throws. Complete to Lawson at the 5-yard line, and he's knocked down at the 4. Tim Foley making the stop on Lawson.
Few more scores in the first half. Tennessee 14, Auburn 13 in the first period. Illinois 7, Pittsburgh nothing. There's time out on the field.
Up to the line they come again, however. Hanratty gets the ball. He goes back to throw again. He looks. He throws. It wobbles up in the air, and it's incomplete.
Jim, they did a beautiful job of pass coverage that time. Hanratty cocked his arm 4 or 5 times, threatening to release the ball. Every receiver covered. Finally, let it go. There was no receiver in the clear. It bounced harmlessly off a pair of hands out there and over the end zone marker, and Purdue has stopped this Irish drive.
And the Boilermakers got a great rush that time from Lance Olson and Joe Walsh. So the Boilermakers now have the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 4. Phipps hands the ball to Williams over left tackle. He's outside the 5, and he's smashed at the 7-yard line. A gain of 3 yards on the play. It's 2nd and 7. The ball at the 7-yard line. Mike Phipps hands the ball this time to his fullback, number 47. Phipps again, or I should say Williams again, over right tackle to about the 8 or 9. Eric Norrie is over there along with Olson and Martin and Perzine, lending a helping hand. Mike Phipps, the quarterback. He has the ball, pitches back to Keys. He's trying the left side, out to the 10, 50. He's got the first down to the 20-yard line.
A very, very fine call by young Mike Phipps.
1st and 10 now. The ball at the 20 as Purdue lines up fast, throws the ball out of bounds. That will stop the clock. So with 2nd and 10 at the 19, Purdue gets the ball. Keys goes back to pass, and it is incomplete. Now let's see what they call it. It's incomplete. That ball was to the right end that time. Let's recap the play, actually. Phipps took the ball from the center, flipped the ball back to Leroy Keys, his halfback, who threw the ball to the right tight end, who was Marion Griffin. It looked like he was going to complete it. However, he was hit immediately by Mike McGill, and he fumbled. So I had to wait just a moment because Notre Dame fell on the ball to see whether they were going to rule the pass complete or incomplete, and if complete. So it's 3rd and 10. Ball still at the 19-yard line of Purdue. It's the draw play to Williams. He's being chased. He's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Back at about the 18-yard line, Olson, Lauk, and Martin making the stop for Notre Dame. 4th down situation, his own 43-yard line. There's the snap from center. Bird gets the kick away. It's a beauty. High spiral. Shane takes it at his own 35. Back to the 40. He's got some blocking. Goes outside now to the 40. Retreats a little bit. Now he's to the 43. Gets away from the tackler, and he's to the 45, and finally knocked down by the first man he got away from, who was Perry Williams, the fullback. It's Ducheny in the backfield as Hanratty goes back to pass. He looks, he throws long for Blyer, and it's incomplete at the 30-yard line. A nice defensive play that time by Dennis Servies of Purdue. Blyer that time swung out of the backfield. Let's pause now for station identification. Again, defending against Seymour as Hanratty gets the ball with 2nd and 10, rolls to his right. He's going to run, puts his head down, but he is stopped on the far side of the field. Don Webster making the play for Purdue. There'll be a loss on the play of a few yards.
I see Notre Dame has called another timeout, Jim, and we have about 7 or 8 seconds left to play. Here are some other scores in the first half.
It's 3rd and 12, the ball at the Notre Dame 44 as Terry Hanratty goes back. He looks, he throws long, and it is incomplete, way over the head of the intended receiver, Paul Snow. And that's the end of the first half with the score. Notre Dame 7 and Purdue 6. The deepest man is Rocky Blyer, and on the left side is Dan Harshman. There's the whistle, and there's the kick. Right down the center to Blyer, 2 yards deep in the end zone. Out to the 5, 10, 15, to the 20, and he's hit there, but he bounds forward to the 23-yard line. There's a flag on the play. Blyer is also split out a little bit on the right side. Ducheny, the fullback, gets the ball to the right, and he's dropped back at the 15-yard line. A nice defensive play over there by George Olean, who's back in the football game for Purdue.
Jack Molenkoff must have had a few words to say to his Chargers at halftime. Their defense has really stiffened and pushed Notre Dame back now to their 15-yard line.
Go for Notre Dame. Terry Hanratty calls the signals, gets the ball, goes back to pass, throws over the center. It's incomplete at the 25-yard line. That pass intended for Jim Seymour. He had the ball in his hands, but he was hit immediately by Tim Foley.
That was a fine defensive play, Jim, by Tim Foley. He hit as cleanly as you can and knocked the ball and the receiver askew.
Seymour to the right, 2nd and 12 from the 15. There's the pass, this time to Blyer. It's complete. And Blyer is pushed out of bounds on the far side of the field at about the 24-yard line. Over there was Dennis Serbies, along with Bob Unaska.
In the first half, another quick score. The Web feed from Oregon State, 31, Iowa nothing, and that comes as somewhat of a surprise. And in the first period, Mississippi 3, Kentucky nothing. Right here at Ross-Age Stadium, Notre Dame holds the 1-point lead, 7-6.
24-yard line. Rocky Blyer will be in to do the punting. Serbies and Foley are back deep for Purdue. Beautiful kick this time. It's Serbies. Check that. It's Foley at his own 36-yard line. Back to the 40, 45, and to the 49-yard line comes Tim Foley. Was the boy that was hurt for Purdue. He's out of the ball game. Purdue's ball, 1st and 10 from their own 49. Phipps goes back to pass. He throws, and it's incomplete. Into and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Leroy Keys.
Very seldom see Leroy Keys drop a pass that was right in his breadbasket. That was in and out as quick as you could say Jack Robinson.
6 for 15. They have the ball. Purdue, that is. 1st and 10 from their own 49. Phipps goes back to pass. Look, he's rushed. He's going to run with it. He's over the 50 to the 45 of Notre Dame and down by John Pergine and Bob Olson at the 48-yard line of Notre Dame.
He looks something like a piece of meat inside 2 pieces of bread being sandwiched to that tackle, Jim.
That he did. 2 fine linebackers in Pergine and Olson. And Brian Stenger are the defensive ends. It's 3rd and 2 at the 43 of Notre Dame. The pitch back goes to Keys. He's got blocking around the left side. He slipped and fell at the 40. That footing out there must be a little bit more treacherous than it looks from up here, because Leroy Keys has now slipped twice, as has Ron Ducheny, the fullback for Notre Dame. It's first down, 10 yards to go for Purdue at the 41 of Notre Dame as Phipps gets the ball, goes back to pass, throws long down the center. It's incomplete. Intended for Jim Byrne. Defensive play made by Tom Shane that time. And it looked from here like that ball zipped right through his hands. Very close to a completion to Jim Byrne. For Purdue, they have a 2nd down, 10 situation at the Notre Dame 41-yard line. Keys to the right, Byrne to the left. Phipps calls the signals for Purdue. The flag goes up. It's going to be a delay of game penalty against Purdue. 3rd and 15 at the 46-yard line of Notre Dame. Mike Phipps gets the ball, goes back, he's rushed, he throws, and it's incomplete. He was rushed hard that time, and he threw the ball to Jim Byrne. Byrne actually was doing a down, out, and up, and the ball was thrown as if it was a down and out pattern. Mike McGill that time on the rush for Notre Dame. They have the ball, 3rd and 15 at the Notre Dame 46 as Phipps goes back to pass. He throws. It's complete to Keys. He's brought down immediately at about the 42-yard line of Notre Dame. Jim Smithberger making the stop. Ball is spotted by referee Howie Wirtz at the 42-yard, check that, the 37-yard line of Notre Dame. Ball is on the 37-yard line. 6.5, 7 yards to go for the first down. Mike Phipps gets the ball, goes back to pass. He's being rushed. He slips, gets away from one tackler, flips one out here to Hurst.
Jim, that was a great play by Mike Phipps. His knee almost touched the ground, and he managed to just keep his balance by a hair and a soft lob pass to a man wide open. And now the Boilermakers are knocking on the door down at the 4-yard line of the Fighting Irish.
1st and goal to go. Purdue at the Notre Dame 4. Byrne is split to the right. Mike Phipps calls for quiet from the crowd. Here we go again. 1st and goal to go from the 4. Perry Williams gets the football over left tackle. Touchdown!
Well, there it is, Jim, a very key play with 4th and 7 on about the Notre Dame 37-yard line, and young Mike Phipps decided to go for it. Nearly slipped, found his man wide open, set him up in the position for the touchdown that has given Purdue the lead in this ball game once again, 12-7. And now for that all-important extra point try.
Over the ball they come. Phipps, the quarterback. He has it. He goes back to pass. He looks. He throws. It's complete to Byrne in the end zone. There's the whistle and there's the kick. Long end over end right down the center, and he really booted that one to Gladjo. 8 yards deep in the end zone. He will not run it out. Keys is not in the ball game guarding Seymour at the moment. Hanratty gets the ball, rolls to his right, throws long to Seymour, and it's intercepted by Foley at the 50-yard line.
Jim Seymour had him beaten, but that extra effort going high in the air to pick that pass off, that's the up spirit that this Purdue Boilermaker team has at the moment.
1st and 10 for the Boilermakers. Keys is to the right. Phipps goes back to pass. Looking for Keys. He throws, and it's complete to Keys. He's knocked down immediately at the 44-yard line of Notre Dame by Jim Smithberger. And talking about giving a team life, of course, with that touchdown by Purdue, and now the interception by Foley. A gain of 6 on the play. It's 2nd and 4. The ball at the 44 of Notre Dame. Phipps is back to pass again. He's looking, he throws, and it's complete to Keys. And he goes out of bounds on the far side of the field, around the 38-yard line of Notre Dame.
Jim, this Purdue team is really hopped up. They're trying everything in the book. Mike Phipps has coolly brought them back into the lead in the ball game, and he wants more and is going for it all the way.
There's the snap. The handoff, no handoff. It's a pass down the middle. It's incomplete. Phipps went back to pass, threw over the head of the intended receiver, Marion Griffin.
And Griffin had his man beaten that time, but that pass just about 5 yards overthrown. Made a desperate lunge, but couldn't quite haul it in.
It's 2nd and 10 from the 39 of Notre Dame as Phipps is back again. He throws, and it's incomplete. Intended for Leroy Keys at the 30-yard line, guarded by Tom Quinn. Mike Phipps is now 12 for 23 in the passing department. defensive end for Notre Dame, replacing Billiman. It's 3rd and 10 from the 39 as Phipps gets the ball, goes back to pass. He's being rushed, throws long, and it is incomplete in the end zone. Intended for Bob Baltzell. Defending against Baltzell for Notre Dame was Mike Bergner. Leroy Keys has caught 6 passes for Purdue, good for 47 yards. There's the snap. There's the kick. Aiming for the sideline. However, let's see where it went out. It's ruled out of bounds on the 6-yard line of Notre Dame. 10 yards to go from their own 6-yard line. Seymour to the right, Snow to the left. The handoff goes to Blyer right up the middle. He's outside the 10 to perhaps the 12-yard line. Frank Burke making the stop, along with Dick Marvel, the 2 linebackers for Purdue. Ball spotted at the 11. 5 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 5. 2nd and 5 from the Notre Dame 11. Notre Dame with the football. The handoff goes to Dushny up the center, to the 15, to the 20. Check that. It's Blyer, the ball carrier, and he moved to the 22-yard line. Difficult to call some of those immediately because Blyer is 28 and Dushny is 38. However, that was Captain Rocky Blyer, and he moved the ball to the 22 before he was stopped by Bob Corby. Blyer has now carried 10 times, good for 42 yards. 1st and 10 now from the Notre Dame 22. Handoff goes to the halfback. He's hit at the 21-yard line. Rocky Blyer was stopped immediately by Bob Holmes and Lance Olson along with Chuck Kyle. Loss of about a half a yard on the play. 2nd down, 11 yards to go from Notre Dame's 21. Hanratty gets the ball, fakes to the halfback, goes back to pass, rolls to his right now. He throws long, and it is caught by Kuntz at the 38-yard line of Purdue. George Kuntz catches his 3rd or 4th pass of the game. We'll have that officially in a moment from our official statistician here, Nick Eddy. Nick Eddy tells me it's his 5th pass reception of the afternoon. That one going all the way to the 38-yard line of Purdue. 1st and 10 Notre Dame. Hanratty with the ball. He's got it. He throws. It's complete to Rocky Blyer. And Blyer is pushed out of bounds at the 34-yard line by Don Webster, the defensive safety man for Purdue. It's 2nd and 5, ball now at the 33-yard line of Purdue. There's the snap. Back to pass goes Hanratty again. He is rushed. The ball is batted in the air, and it's incomplete. Almost intercepted by George Olian. That time, Ron Dushny, the fullback, had looped over the center and was standing all by himself. However, Hanratty did not see him until it was too late. And into the ball game now at quarterback comes Coley O'Brien, replacing Terry Hanratty. It'll be 3rd and 5. The ball still at the 33-yard line of Purdue. As the Irish are out of the huddle, Paul Snow goes to the right. Jim Seymour is split to the left. Hanratty, 19 for 37 in the passing department, replaced by O'Brien. O'Brien fumbled the ball. However, I believe Notre Dame has recovered. Let's see who got the ball for Notre Dame. It was Ron Dushny, the fullback, who went in there and covered the ball at the 33. So we have a 4th and 5 now as Hanratty comes back in and O'Brien goes out.
Who you know is a good pass receiver.
All right, 4th and 5 from the 33, a big play. Hanratty throws to Dushny over the center, and it's complete at the 22-yard line, and that's exactly the play I told you about a moment ago. Dushny is hurt. Wait just a moment, but now this word from B.F. Goodrich. Well, a few moments ago, I told you that Ron Dushny, the Notre Dame fullback, had slipped over the middle and was completely open, but quarterback Terry Hanratty did not see him. So on that key play with 4th and 5 from the 33, Coach Ara Parseghian called the same play. Dushny slipped over the middle again. This time Hanratty got the ball to him, and it's 1st and 10 Notre Dame from the Purdue 22-yard line. First and 10 at the 22-yard line of Purdue. Seymour is to the left, Snow to the right. Hanratty goes back to pass. He throws long over the center. It is incomplete at the goal line. And George, let's see who that is. It's either George Kuntz or Paul Snow, and he apparently hurt himself when he fell. It's Paul Snow who is hurt at the goal line now. That ball was into and out of his arm. Second down and 10 at the 22 of Purdue. Hanratty is back to pass again. He's rushed, throws down the middle, and it is incomplete. That pass was intended for Dan Harshman, and he was well guarded that time by Tim Foley and Don Webster. Well, we keep talking about key plays. It seems in each series of downs that Notre Dame has a key play. Seymour goes to the right, and it looks like Blyer to the left. Hanratty back to pass. He looks, he throws, it's incomplete at the 13-yard line, and what a defensive play by Leroy Keys. That ball was right in the hands of Jim Seymour, and Keys whacked him just as the ball touched his hands, and it's incomplete. So we have a 4th and 10 situation now with the ball still at the 22-yard line of Purdue. He replaced Rajo. 4th and 10 at the 22. Hanratty back to pass. He throws it complete to Dushny to the 10-yard line, a first down. That pass right over the center again. Dushny was stopped by Don Webster, and the Irish have the ball inside the Purdue 10-yard line.
That, by every measurement, Jim, was a clutch play. And now in a position, 1st and goal to go just inside the 10-yard line.
And as Bill told you, it's 1st and goal to go from the Purdue 9. Dushny, the fullback, right up the center to the 6-yard line.
Okay, it was Dushny.
Stopped by the entire center of that big Purdue forward wall. Fred Raffa, Chuck Kyle, and Lance Olson. A gain of 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down, 6 yards to go. 6 yards to go for the touchdown. Seymour and Snow are out to the left this time. Hanratty gets the ball, keeps it himself, runs into the 1-yard line. He fakes the handoff to the fullback, keeps it himself. That time went over right guard, and he's to the 1-yard line before he's dropped by Tim Foley.
That was a beautiful keeper play, Jim. He had me fooled up here in the booth, and we got pretty good view. He just snuck right down there, and it's going to be tough to stop the Irish now.
And it's 3rd down for Notre Dame. Goal to go at the Purdue 1-yard line. Everyone else is in the backfield, a full house backfield, I formation. Hanratty with the calling the signals. There's the snap. It goes to Blyer. Touchdown. Great blocking on the right side of that Notre Dame line that time by Dick Swatland, Bob Kuchenberg, and George Kuhn. Rocky Blyer took the ball and sailed over some good blocks for the touchdown. So the score now, Purdue 14, Notre Dame 13. And Joe Azzaro comes in the football game to attempt the extra point. Rocky Blyer has carried 12 times, good for 45 yards. There's the snap, the kick is up in the air, and it's good. Joe Azzaro to kick off for Notre Dame. There's the boot. Going back deep, taken by Leroy Keys at the 12. To the 15, 20, 25, 30, and to the 32-yard line comes Leroy Keys. That last touchdown drive of Notre Dame carried from the Notre Dame 6-yard line, a drive of 94 yards. So far in the football game, there has been a total of 71 passes thrown. Purdue from their own 32. Burns split to the left, Balsa to the right. The pitch back comes to Keys. He cuts into the 30, 35, to the 40, and to the 42-yard line comes Leroy Keys. That's Quinn making the stop, along with Shane and Martin.
Keys really picked his spots and his blockers beautifully and found that hole and came right up for very, very good yardage.
The ball at the 42-yard line of Purdue. Phipps gets the ball, hands to his fullback. He's got the first down. Perry Williams over the 45 to the 46-yard line. Dave Martin made the stop for Notre Dame.
Ball is on Purdue's 46-yard line, first and 10.
First down, Purdue is flanked to the left. Jim Burns is split to the right. Mike Phipps gets the ball, goes back. He's looking to throw. He fires, and it is complete. At the 44-yard line of Notre Dame. Marion Griffin made a fine shoestring catch that time. A gain of 13 yards, carrying to the Notre Dame 43, where it's first and 10, Boilermakers. First and 10 at the Notre Dame 43. Keys to the right, Burns to the left. Phipps goes back to pass. He's being rushed. It's a screen pass. It's incomplete. Actually, the screen man never got out to the screen that time. The ball headed for a lineman, and he wisely chose not to touch it. That's running. I'm sorry. Keys has carried 7 times for 52 yards. Back to pass now is Phipps. He throws. It's incomplete. Intended for Griffin. Broken up by Shane. Out of the huddle is Purdue now with Keys split to the right. Phipps goes back to pass. He looks, throws long for Keys. Quinn is right with him. And it's incomplete at the 10. That ball was tipped up in the air, first by Quinn, then by Keys. Then the ball started to come down, and it looks like Keys might catch it, and Quinn batted it away again. What a battle for the football.
Looked more like basketball than football, Jim.
Dick Berg will kick now with a 4th and 10 situation. There's the snap. He gets the kick away, right down the center this time for Shane. He signals fair catch. It goes into the end zone. A touchback, and the ball will come out to the 20, where it'll be first and 10, Notre Dame.
Here are a few quick scores, Jim. In the third period, Virginia Tech 9, Kansas State 3. In the third period, Springfield 13, Amherst 3.
First and 10, Notre Dame from their own 20-yard line. Terry Hanratty is the quarterback. He goes back to pass. Looks down the middle, throws, and almost a one-handed grab by George Kuntz. The ball was behind him, and it's incomplete. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Second and 10, Notre Dame from their own 20. Hanratty goes back to pass again. He looks, he's being rushed. He's all the way back to the 10, finally gets it away. It's incomplete at the 30. Pass intended on the far side of the field for Paul Snow. Way over his head, however. Good rush that time by George Olean, the left defensive end for Purdue.
Jim, here's another one of those key plays for Notre Dame with 3rd and 10 deep in their own territory, and we'll see what Hanratty calls.
Seymour is to the left. Hanratty back to throw again. Throws to Seymour way over his head on a post pattern. Back defending was Tim Foley along with Bob Corby.
That had to be, Jim, a big play for Purdue. Obviously a punting situation here with about 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Score tied 14-14.
Kicking for Notre Dame. Serbies and Foley are back deep for Purdue, standing at their own 45. There's the kick. It's almost blocked, but it's away. And it's Foley at his own 44. He fumbled the football. He falls on it now back at his own 35. And down there for Notre Dame immediately was Dan Harshman. Balso and Williams are in the backfield. Phipps goes back to pass. He looks, he's rushed, he's tackled. Mike McCoy and John Pergine making the stop for Notre Dame.
Phipps was the ball carrier.
Very quickly, Jim, a final Connecticut 17, Vermont 6. In the first half, Indiana 8, Kansas 8. We gave you that score, and at the end of the first half, the Citadel 8, Maine nothing.
Keys flank left, Jim Burns split right. Mike Phipps gets the ball, goes back to pass. He looks, he throws, and it's over the head of Jim Burns. Tom Quinn was right with him. Ball bounds all the way down to the 15-yard line of Notre Dame. And the football game today is brought to you by B.F. Goodrich, the Straight Talk Tire people, and by State Farm Mutual, the biggest car insurance company there is. It's third down, 13, the ball at the 33-yard line of Purdue. And neither team has been able to move on the last two series. Keys is flanked way out to the left side. Williams and Baltzell are in the backfield. As Phipps goes back to pass, he's rushed. It's a long one to Keys. He's got it at the 30 and down to the 24-yard line. What a catch by Leroy Keys on Mike Bergener.
Jim, that was a floater, and Leroy Keys was determined. He was not going to drop that one, and suddenly, as quick as you can say boo, here are the Boilermakers knocking at the Notre Dame goal line on the 23-yard line, first down and 10 to go.
A 44-yard gain that time, Bill. 3-yard line as Keys goes to the right, Byrne to the left. And Phipps is back to pass again. It's a screen pass to the left, and it's tipped up in the air. Incomplete by Brian Stenger.
Screen pass was broken up by Stenger.
That ball that was blocked hung up there so long, I thought that possibly a Notre Dame man might have a shot at an interception, but it dropped just in the nick of time for Purdue's sake.
Leroy Keys split far to the right. Byrne is in tight on the right side this time, and back to pass goes Phipps again. He's looking. He's being rushed, runs to the right, gets away from one tackler, two tacklers, and is really bombed right at the line of scrimmage by Mike McGill and Eric Norrie, along with John Pergine.
Tackle by Norrie.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Purdue 14 and Notre Dame 14. And Purdue has the football, 3rd and 10 at the Notre Dame 23 as Mike Phipps goes back to pass. He looks, he's being rushed. He runs around. Norrie's after him. He's running to the 20, and he's hit at the 16-yard line by Mike McGill and dropped out of bounds at that point. Boy, what action we've seen here this afternoon. A great football game with 15 minutes left. One quarter of action. All tied up, Purdue 14 and Notre Dame 14. Notre Dame 16-yard line, and here we go. The pitch back goes to Keys. He's coming around the left side. He hits in, and he's got the first down to the 11-yard line.
Jim, what a call that was. On a pitch out and a sweep, gave it to the man who most probably could do it in Leroy Keys, and what a ball game this young man has played today.
Notre Dame takes the timeout now. 1st and 10 at the Notre Dame 11-yard line. Keys is flanked to the right. Phipps goes back to pass, looking for Keys. He's got a touchdown.
Jim, a beautifully executed pass play. There is Leroy Keys, the man of the hour. Phipps to Keys. That's the story all afternoon, and the field is covered with streamers now.
Bob Baltzell will attempt the extra point for Purdue. There's the snap. The ball is spotted up in the air. It's a floater. It's good. With the score, Purdue 21 and Notre Dame 14. Now this word from B.F. Goodrich. There's the whistle. Keys comes up to the ball, boots it, end over end and long. It's Blyer at the 2, back to the 5, 10, 15, to the 20, puts his head down and goes to the 25-yard line. A 23-yard kickoff returned by Captain Rocky Blyer. Frank Burt made the tackle on Blyer for Purdue. So the Irish are trailing 21-14. 14 minutes left in the football game. Rocky Blyer goes to the left. Seymour split to the right. Hanratty has the football, back to pass, throws to Duchesne. It is knocked down. Duchesne slipped right over the center that time. However, the middle guard, Chuck Kyle, reached up and was able to knock the pass down.
And again, we have a situation, Jim. The Boilermakers as charged up as they can be, protecting a one-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter. To be sure, there's a lot of time to be played, but they'll be tough.
Still just shy of the Notre Dame 25-yard line. Ball snow to the left this time as Hanratty gets the football. Gets Goes back. He's going to run with it. He's to the 25 and to the 31-yard line before he stops. Bob Holmes making the stop.
We've got another key call coming up, Jim, with 3rd and 4. Very helpful if the Irish can pull off this first down.
Glad, Joe. It's 3rd and 4 from the Notre Dame 31-yard line as Hanratty goes back to pass. He looks. He's being rushed. There's no receiver open. He's way back to the 10. He throws now, finally, and it's complete to Seymour at the 45-yard line. He's brought down at the 47 by Corby. Jim Foley also in on the stop for Purdue. And I don't know how long that pass play took, but it seemed like an eternity, I know, to Notre Dame football fans at least. The ball is spotted at the 48-yard line now of Notre Dame as Hanratty was rushed all over the field that time. However, did complete it. It's 1st and 10 at the 48. Hanratty hands the ball to Blyer. He's going to run. He's to the 50 and into Purdue territory and knocked down at the 48-yard line. Dennis Serbies made the tackle, along with Bob Corby.
A couple of quick scores, Jim. At the end of the 3rd quarter, Arizona State 35, Wisconsin 9. A final, Illinois 14, Pittsburgh nothing. A final, Tennessee 27, Auburn 13.
A gain of 3 yards on the play. It's 2nd and 7. The ball at the 49-yard line of Purdue, and back to pass once again goes Hanratty. He throws complete to Blyer at the 45, to the 40, gets away from a tackler, to the 35 or 30, and out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Rocky Blyer jumped right over a tackler that time.
A beautiful pass play. There was nobody within 20 yards of Blyer when he received that ball.
21 yards on the play. The ball now at the 27-yard line of Purdue, and Lawson is in at end. Paul Snow is flanked to the right. Hanratty goes back to pass again. Throws down the center, and it's incomplete, intended for Lawson at the goal line. Don Webster was the defender for Purdue.
And he just did tip that ball, Jim. That looked like a touchdown all the way, and at the last possible second, Webster tipped that ball.
And into that ball game defensively now for Purdue comes that fella, Leroy Keys, replacing Jim Foley. Split to the left this time is Blyer. Back to pass goes Hanratty. He throws out here, and it's incomplete to Gladjoe. Nice defensive play that time by Don Webster, the right side defensive halfback for Purdue. Today's game is brought to you by B.F. Goodrich, the Straight Talk Tire people. Notre Dame has the ball, 3rd and 10 at the Purdue 27. Hanratty gets the ball, goes back to pass. He looks down the center. It's a touchdown for Notre Dame. That pass completed to Paul Snow.
Jim, Paul Snow was as wide open as any receiver could be, and you knew the moment that ball left Hanratty's hands, it was a touchdown. He stumbled the last 2 yards, but obviously in for what could be the point-tying effort of the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And here comes the try for the extra point.
Joe Azzaro will attempt the extra point for Notre Dame. Terry Hanratty will hold. They're all set. There's the snap. The ball is up in the air, and it's good. So we have a brand new ball game once again. Purdue 21, Notre Dame 21, with 12 minutes approximately left in the football game. For Notre Dame, Leroy Keys, the deep man for Purdue. There's the whistle. There's the boot. Rather short, however, Keys is going to get it at the 8-yard line. Back to the 10, 15, up the middle to the 20, 25, to the 30. And to the 35, 36-yard line goes Leroy Keys. Tom Quinn in there to make the stop, along with John Lavin and Frank Trinity. Boy, every time that Leroy Keys gets his hands on the football, it brings everyone to attention here at Ross-Ade Stadium. And Burns to the left. There's the snap. Back to pass. goes Phipps, the quarterback. He looks. He fires over the center. It's incomplete. The pass was intended for Leroy Keys in his hands, and he just plain dropped it.
A couple of quick scores, Jim. In the third period, Georgia Tech 17, TCU nothing. And in that red-hot American League pennant race, California-Detroit tied 0-0.
Their own 36-yard line. Keys is wide to the right. Mike Phipps back to pass again. He's looking down the center. He's being rushed. He's going to run. He's to the 40, to the 45, to the 46-yard line. Olsen and Martin, along with McGill, making a stop on Mike Phipps. Very close to the first down in passing department. Mike Phipps has thrown 33 times and completed 15. Third and inches. The handoff to Williams. He's got the first down over the 50 and pulls his way forward to the 45-yard line of Notre Dame, and there's going to be a penalty against the Irish for grabbing the face mask. Terry Williams literally dragged two Notre Dame tacklers 7 yards that time, and in order to get him down, one of the tacklers grabbed his face mask and jerked his head down, and that was a mistake because it'll cost Notre Dame 15 yards. There's the whistle, and here's the action. Mike Phipps, the quarterback. There's the snap. He's back to pass. He throws, and it is incomplete at the 20-yard line. As Purdue is up to the line of scrimmage with Phipps, the quarterback. There's the snap. Handoff to Williams over left tackle. He goes nowhere. Good defensive play that time by Bobo Olsen along with Brian Stenger.
Tackle by McCoy.
That's they are. Prior to the football game, Keys was booting 42-yard field goals. Back to pass goes Phipps, throws down the center. It's complete to Bolswell at the 15, to the 10. 5, touchdown Purdue. Yards on the pass play from Phipps to Bolswell.
Jim, this is about as unbelievable football game as it's ever been my pleasure to watch. Everything has happened and a lot more yet to come.
Dennis Serbies will hold for Purdue. There's the snap. The ball is up in the air, and it's good. 28 for Purdue, 21 for Notre Dame if you've joined us late. Approximately 10 minutes left in the ball game. Keys boots it on the ground. It's picked up by Duchney at the 20 to the 25, 30, 35, 38-yard line. Ron Duchney, the fullback. Splitting to the left is Paul Snow. Back to pass is Hanratty. Throws down the center, and it's incomplete to Seymour. He was guarded back there by two men. Bob Corby along with Leroy Keys of Purdue.
I notice now, Jim, the shadows of our press booth beginning to cover about an eighth of the gridiron here on the west side of the field. Everything else still bathed in sunlight. A perfectly beautiful day, and certainly one of the greatest football games we've ever seen.
Sometime in the near future, we'll see a pass to the opposite side to either Harshman or Snow, depending on who's in the ball game. It's 2nd and 10 at the 38. Back to pass goes Hanratty. He throws. It's a screen. It's complete at the 35 to the 40. Goes Rocky Blyer, and he stops at the 42-yard line. Chuck Kyle making the stop for Purdue.
Jim, you might keep in mind to let us know when Hanratty fires his 100th pass of this ball game, because it can't be.
And he is split to the right. Seymour is flanked to the left, and back to pass goes Hanratty again. Throws over the center. It's incomplete to Duchney.
Duchney was in the clear, Jim. Unfortunately, that ball slightly overthrown.
And Leroy Keys. Tim Monty will center for Notre Dame. There's a snap. It's a bounder. However, the kick is away, and it's a good one considering the circumstances. Keys at the 22, back to the 25, and to about the 30-yard line before he's done. Let's call Keys to the left this time. Mike Phipps hands to his fullback, Baltzell, and he is over left tackle to the 34. Dave Martin in on the stop, along with Mike McGill. All right, it's 2nd and 6. The ball now at the 34-yard line. The handoff goes to Perry Williams, and he gets a yard, perhaps.
This next play, Jim, could be terribly important for the Boilermakers of Purdue. If they fail to pick up that 6 or 5 yards they have, they will be forced to kick. Back goes the ball to the Fighting Irish from Notre Dame, and more of the Hanratty specials, the pass.
Byrne and Keys both go to the right side. Byrne is in the slot. Phipps keeps the ball himself, rolls to the right. He stops shy of the 35-yard line. It is not a first down, and it looked like there was some kind of a mix-up that time in the backfield as Phipps kept the ball. And that will bring up a punting situation, and Dick Berg will be in to do the kicking for the Boilermakers. This one from Spike Sullivan. There's the kick by Dick Berg. Short, kind of a floater this time, bouncing out of bounds over on the far side of the field, and it will be spotted at the 37-yard line of Notre Dame.
Jim, he had all day to kick that ball. Notre Dame was not rushing. They dropped back. We're getting down critically to the point where time is of the essence. With Purdue out in front 28-21, just under 7 minutes to play in the ball game, the Notre Dame putting the ball in play from their own 37-yard line.
He's guarded by Leroy Keys. Paul Snow is split to the left. Back to pass goes Hanratty. He looks, fires down the middle. It's complete to George Kuntz at the 46-yard line. Falls forward to the 47 perhaps, as he's brought down immediately in there by Don Webster and Dick Marble. What an exhibition of passing we've seen today. That pass was good for almost 10 yards, and we're going to have a measurement. It's very close to the first down. Terry Hanratty back to pass. He's going to run with the football to the 45, to the 50, gets away from a tackler, and he is down at the 49-yard line of Purdue. Making the tackle was Dick Marble. Chuck Kyle in the game, replacing Fred Rappa for the Boilermakers. It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line of Purdue. Hanratty back to pass. He throws, and it is complete at the 35-yard line. A great catch by Jim Seymour. He was right in the middle of 3 Purdue defenders and came up with the football. Gain of 14 yards on the play and another first down. Notre Dame has the ball, 1st and 10 at the Purdue 34. Back to pass goes Hanratty again. He fires down the middle. It's complete at the 20-yard line. Hit immediately right at the 20. This must be Paul Snow by Billy McCoy. Inside the 20, and it's 1st and 10. Hanratty back to throw again. He throws down the middle. It's incomplete at the goal line. Into and out of the hands of Paul Snow. He was wide open. And you can see the reaction over on the Notre Dame side of the Notre Dame coaches. Coach Ara Parseghian just dropped his head. Snow is out left again. Seymour is out to the right. Back to pass goes Hanratty. Once again, he's being rushed this time. Rolls out to his left. He finally throws. And it's incomplete in the end zone to Seymour. And he, too, was wide open, but could not get to the football.
This exhibition of passing by Terry Hanratty is certainly giving the Purdue fans here heart failure. Twice.
Rocky Blyer is split to the left, Jim Seymour to the right. Back to pass again, goes Hanratty, got the time. Now he's rushed, he's going to run, he's brought down at the 20-yard line. Fred Howes made the stop along with Tim Foley and Bob Holmes. Seymour is split to the right. Snow is split to the left. Hanratty back to pass. He throws. It's complete to Coots, however, it's short of the first down. Coots caught that ball at the 14-yard line, and Purdue takes over.
A great defensive effort, Jim, by an inspired ball club and these Boilermakers of Purdue. They stopped this deep Notre Dame penetration, and now that clock becomes all important with a little bit better than 3 minutes to play. Purdue takes possession of the ball on their own 14-yard line. I doubt very much if you'll see that ball go in the air. It'll be running plays, 3. If they can't make the first down, a punt.
First and 10 at the Purdue 14. The handoff goes to Balso, the right tackle. He's out to about the 19-yard line, and he's stopped right there by the left side linebacker for Notre Dame, Mike McGill and John Pergine. Not before, however, Balso picks up about 5 yards. Keys comes out to the left, Byrne to the right. Handoff goes to Balso again, and he's over left tackle, and he's outside the 20 to the 21 or 2. He's shy of the first down, so we have another big play.
This could be the biggest one of the game, Jim. Depends purely on whether they're able to muscle over for another first down and eat up more of that clock.
Keys has carried the ball on the sweep. Let's see if that happens. Here he comes. He fumbles the football, however, and he's down by Louth. Keys was going to carry the football on the fake, but he fumbled the pitch back, and he is dumped at the 17-yard line by Chuck Louth.
Critical play for the Boilermakers. Too bad for Keys, who has played such a brilliant game here today. And now,
right defensive end. All right, Dick Berg is back to kick. There's the snap. He gets the ball away. It's a beauty, driving Shane all the way back to the 35-yard line. And he is hit at the 36 on a fine defensive play by Marion Griffin, along with Jim Byrne, the 2 ends for Purdue. So the Irish will get another chance in this football game. There is, I should say, 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in the game, and Notre Dame trails Purdue 28-21.
Final drive of the game.
Irish football, first and 10 from their own 38. Hanratty is rushed, rolling to his left. He's going to have to run with it now. Now he comes back the other way. He's looking to throw, throws long, and it's intercepted by Keys at the 35. And he's stopped by Rocky Blyer and Jim Seymour.
That may very well be the ball game, Jim. A key interception with just about a minute and 25 seconds to go, and Purdue has that ball right back again on their own 38-yard line, and this crowd is going crazy. What a dramatic ball game all the way from the opening kickoff.
First and 10, Purdue at their own 38-yard line. Phipps gets the ball, hands off to Williams, who's dumped over left tackle immediately. Little or no yardage. Terry Hanratty has thrown 61 times in this football game, completed 29. It's second and 9 at the 39 of Purdue, and Balso gets the ball right over center. He's to the 40, and that's all. Stopped in there by Mike McCoy. Third and 8 at their own 40-yard line. Bob Hurst gets the ball. He's dumped immediately for about a 4-yard loss back at his own 36, but the seconds are ticking away. 10 seconds left in the ball game. I doubt if there'll be another play in this football game. That's the end of the football game. Purdue wins it 28-21, and now this word from B.F. Goodrich.
Hello, everyone. This is Bill Etherton with Notre Dame football coach Ara Parseghian. Ara, you have never won at West Lafayette.
Bill, it seems like the jinx spot. When I was at Miami of Ohio, we didn't beat Purdue. When I was at Northwestern, we didn't beat Purdue. Down at Lafayette, and we've played down there twice at Notre Dame, and we haven't beaten them down there yet. It seems like that's the jinx for us, and they've broken many Notre Dame win streaks.
Ara and I will be back in just a minute. Ara, you know, last week you mentioned Bob Greasy and sophomore quarterbacks who've been very fine at Purdue. This Mike Phipps had a great day.
Yes, for a sophomore, he did a remarkable job. It was really a great college football game when you really analyze it. Purdue went ahead 6-0, and we tied it up we went ahead 7-6. Then they went ahead 14-7. We tied it up 14-14. Then they went ahead 21-14. We tied it up. Then they went ahead again. We came back downfield again, dropped a touchdown pass in the end zone that could have tied the ball game up again with about 3.5 minutes left. It was a tremendous college football game, and new heroes are born on the college gridirons every week.
Ara, did the fact that Purdue had gone ahead and we were constantly playing catch-up football change your game plan at all?
Yes, very definitely. We had planned on throwing the ball quite a bit, but the fact that we fell behind in the ball game is the reason that Hanratty set so many records. Never in my mind did I ever think about throwing 60-some-odd passes. But we were behind. We had to catch up. We didn't want to lose a football game. Unfortunately, that's the way it came out. But when you make almost 500 yards in a ball game, you'd think, well, you're going to come out on the top side of it. If someone had told me before the game that we were going to make 27 first downs and 485 yards total offense, and I thought, well, the defense will take care of itself. But Purdue was up to it and did a great job.
Now let's look at the game highlights of Purdue and Notre Dame. West Lafayette, Indiana, a record crowd of 62,316 to see the meeting of the two unbeatens. Purdue, winners over Texas A&M the week before, and Notre Dame winners over California. Ara?
Bill, it was a tremendous football game. I think Coach Mollenkoff made mention of the fact that it was a game of inches, and it certainly was, both on pass receiving and key plays. Here's the opening kickoff. Purdue won the toss, elected to receive, and here's Leroy Keys, number 23, who had a fantastic day, did a great job of running, catching, kicking. He just did everything in the ball game.
As a matter of fact, he played defense, too.
Right. Here's the opening play of the game. This is Baltzell for about 4 or 5 yards off the right tackle. On this next play is a play that Kevin Hardy gets hurt on. If you see him at the top of the picture, he's our defensive end. He gets an ankle here on this play, and we lose him the rest of the ball game.
Early in the ball game, Purdue was on a drive. They had a 3rd down and 5 at their own 38-yard line. And Mike Phipps, the sophomore quarterback, throws to Jim Byrne, and Ara, that's quite a play.
Yes, Bill, this was the key play in this drive. It was the long gainer that took him deep into our territory, and really it was well executed. Still, as you look at the film, you wonder how they got the ball through there. Mike Phipps is at quarterback, and they're in a split backfield. This is Perry Williams, the fullback, number 47, who will lead and block. This is Leroy Keys, their right halfback. This is Jim Byrne, their great receiving end. And this is a boy by the name of Griffin, number 83, their tight end. And out here is Baltzell, their left halfback, split out here. Now, we're deployed in our conventional defense with Dave Martin, this linebacker, Olson here, McGill here, Parseghian here, and Smithburger here, who was very instrumental in this play. On the snap of the ball, Phipps rolled out to his left with protection of blocking from Williams at this point. Jim Byrne started off the line, who was one of their great receivers, and Keys flared up this left sideline right here to engage our linebacker. So our linebacker had to go with him. Byrne came down the field and started to move across to the inside. Jim Smithburger, our defensive left halfback, engaged him, and we had him pretty well covered. In the meantime, Mike McGill was back off the cover and was right in front. Also, Bob Olson was back in here in good position, and Byrne was right in between these three fellas right here. Somehow, Mike Phipps managed to get that ball and drill it right straight into Byrne, who caught it right in between this seam. And at this point, all three defenders were right around Phipps. Dave Martin, number 56, had dropped back off as well on the pass to look for the pass. And as they've all went for the ball, Byrne managed to get it. Olson overran it just slightly. Byrne came across here. Martin missed the tackle. Byrne avoided him. And, of course, he had been engaged, Tom O'Leary, had been engaged by this flanker back, Baltzell, who had carried him out. Now, Byrne turned up the left sideline and went all the way down to about the 23-yard line before our safety man, Tom Shane, came over, along with O'Leary, to knock him out of bounds right here at about the 20-yard line.
Or how'd you replace Hardy? Who'd you put out there?
Well, we put in Ed Volleman, boy that had been hurt, and he too got injured. He pulled a hamstring. There's Keys again, catching a sideline pattern. Didn't get too much yardage on it, 2 or 3. Here's another one. And this time Jim Smithberger brings him down at the 11-yard line, but they have a first down. And here's Perry Williams going off the left side, right there, gets good blocking, and carries our defenders into the end zone for a touchdown. And that's the first touchdown of the game, and we're behind 6-0. As a matter of fact, we were behind in this ball game at all times, with the exception of when we led 7-6.
Purdue went 67 yards in 7 plays.
Here's Terry Hanratty rolling out. Fires a pass to Jim Seymour, gets a good block, and comes up the sideline for good yardage.
24 yards, as a matter of fact, there.
Open formation again. Terry Hanratty set a lot of records, but one of the reasons was the very fact that we were behind in the ball game. Here's Hanratty again. There's an out pattern to Seymour for a first down at the 40-yard line. Hanratty gives the ball to Dushny on the draw, and he picks up 7 or 8 yards. Slipped and fell there. Hanratty to Blyer, and he picks up about 3.
Lucky played a fine game there.
Played a wonderful game. He's a great captain, did a great job. Here's a great run by Terry Hanratty. Gets outside the contain. There's another ground view shot of it, and he goes all the way down to about the 1-yard line before he's brought down, just short of the goal line. And here he'll go over for the touchdown right there. Dives in for the touchdown. And this ties up the game 6-6.
Notre Dame had gone 75 yards in 8 plays, and that score came very early in the first period with 12 minutes and 12 seconds left.
Yes, and Mazzaro kicks the extra point.
Second quarter was scoreless, and both teams left for the intermission. Ara and I will be back after we pause for this message.
Here's Phipps. Can't find anybody open and runs with the ball. He's brought down by Olson and McGill. It's a short yardage situation that Keys has the ball on and slips and falls, but he picks up the first down. Here's Phipps rolling to his right. Throws a pass down through the center. Deflected and knocked down by Mike Bergner, number 33.
Jack Malenkov on the Purdue side.
Yes, yelling some sort of instructions.
A delay of game here, Ara. They took too long.
Yes, they were too long at the line, and the official called delay of the game.
But here's a key pass to Keys.
Here's an out pass that is just overthrown. Here's a great play by Phipps. Comes back, throws the ball. Here's where he almost slips and falls. There's another key play. That was a 4th down and about 10. Looked like we had Phipps back there for about 8 or 9 yard loss, and he made a great recovery on the play. They blocked the off tackle hole.
Williams in the score again.
Right.
They tried for 2 on the extra point. One of the fine pass receptions by Notre Dame in the game came in the 3rd period when the average were down by 14-7. It is 2nd down and 11, Notre Dame at their own 21-yard line. And Terry Hanratty goes to the air for about 40 yards to big tight end George Coons. Ara?
Bill, this is one of those unusual plays. The key receiver was not the boy that was hit on the play or received the ball, but this was due to the Purdue concern defensively for the receiver, which is Jim Seymour. We were deployed in this manner. We had Jim Seymour as a split end and Paul Snow as the flanker back who outflanked him. The quarterback was Terry Hanratty, the fullback was Ron Dushny, and here was Rocky Blyer. Now, the deployment of the Purdue team was 2 men out here wide to cover these 2, and the 4 deep secondary men. This safety man was favoring the Seymour side. Now, on the snap of the ball, we used a run fake off tackle with Dushny coming to the off tackle hole, Rocky Blyer faking into the off tackle hole, and Hanratty faking here. On this particular play, we pulled our left guard to engage this defensive end, which he did. Now, Hanratty rolled back in this direction. Now, we took our tight end, who was George Coons, and he came right straight up the field here in an attempt to drive this defender out of the way so that we could cross underneath Jim Seymour. Well, what happened when we did this, we drove George Coons out and brought Seymour underneath. The defenders were so engrossed with Jim Seymour that they immediately were attracted to him. And Hanratty, who scrambled out of this rush, threw a strike to George Coons, who was down here, and made an outstanding catch right here. The ball was over the shoulder, and he was not the primary receiver, but he was hit as a result of the defender jumping on Jim Seymour, who they were greatly concerned about. Here's Hanratty rolling out. And George Coons makes a great catch of the ball right there.
What a pass.
A great catch and a great throw. Terry Hanratty set a number of records, but this was a result of being behind, and we had to throw the ball quite a bit.
That's a Rocky Blyer.
A little short out pattern. Here's Hanratty back to throw again. The ball is deflected, almost caught, almost intercepted.
Terry was rushed pretty well all afternoon, Aaron.
Yes, he was. But the protection overall was pretty doggone good. I think we only lost 8 yards in rushing as a result of pass attempts, and 63 pass attempts, which is a new record. Ron Dushney, number 38, down to the 23-yard line. Hanratty back again. And there's a ball that was in there for a touchdown, but he dropped the ball.
Paul Snow.
Yeah, Paul Snow played a fine ball game. He was hurt on that play. He came back in a little later on, but he has bruised ribs. There was a pass intended for Dan Harshman. Didn't have much chance to get that one. There's one to Seymour, broken up by Leroy Keys, who played offense, defense, and a little bit of everything. Here's Hanratty throwing to Dushney again, right there, for a key first down to the 10-yard line.
That was the second time on a fourth down play that he had gone here and caught the ball and picked up a good game. And the first down.
There's Dushney again, goes down to about the 6. Here's Hanratty on a sneak play. Goes down to the 1-foot line. And Blyer takes it over. The right side, right here.
Notre Dame had gone 94 yards in 13 plays. Joe Azara will kick again, and it is tied 14-14.
Our defense just couldn't contain the Purdue football team. They continued to make great key plays. Here's Phipps again rolling out. There were several times on clutch downs. Here's another one right here. Keys making a great catch over his shoulder on a long pass. This was a third down and about 10 or 12 yards to go. Here's Phipps rolling to his right again. Screen pass, knocked down there by Brian Stenger. Purdue was able to come up with the big plays in this football game, and this made the difference. Real difference in the contest. Here's Phipps again. He can't find anybody open. Keeps his balance and runs with it. Picks up a few yards on the play.
End of 3 quarters, and it is 14-14, and Purdue still has the ball.
And it's 3rd down and 10. There it is again, 3rd and 10. He scrambles outside the contain. Takes off with the ball. Brought down by Mike McGill. And now here's a 4th down situation again. There's a toss out to Leroy Keys. And he just barely makes the 1st down. As I say, it was a game of inches, both on running and passing. And Purdue came up with the big plays at the right time.
Which was pass to Keys.
There was a Keys pass from Phipps. Perfectly run pattern for the touchdown.
They traveled 64 yards in 8 plays.
Now we have the ball, and one of the things that I'm proud about our Notre Dame football team, at no time did they ever give up. They kept fighting back. We're behind now 21-14. Here comes Hanratty back again. Finds no one open. And like Phipps, he took off and ran with the ball. Picks up a few yards. Back again to pass. This time he rolls to the right, rolls to the left, scrambles around back there. Lets one fly, and a great catch there by Jim Seymour. And a 1st down. Hanratty back again, gives the ball to Blyer on a draw play.
Looked as if he were almost off and away.
Right. It looked like it was going to be a good play, but there was good support by the secondary. Here's a flat pass out to Blyer. Good running here. Ground level shot of it. Evades one tackler. Goes all the way down the right sideline. Hanratty back to his left. Throws. There's one that was almost a touchdown right there, just deflected by Webster, number 32, intended for Tom Lawson. Hanratty back again. This time intended for Glageau, Bob Glageau, who was out in the left flat, number 20.
Ara had a lot of Jim Seymour and Paul Snow flanker moves in the game, but there was a key play in which Notre Dame tied the score at 21-21. It was a 3rd down and 10 at the Purdue 27-yard line, and Hanratty goes to Paul Snow.
Yes, Bill, this was a particular pattern that we used quite a bit in this football game to try to flood a zone. First of all, we switched Paul Snow and Jim Seymour. We made Paul Snow out here to the left, the split end, and we made Jim Seymour the flanker back out to this side. And as a result, we've got over coverage by the 2 men, the halfback and the safety on that side, vitally concerned about Seymour. In the meantime, this left 2 defenders on this side. The way we started the play, Hanratty retreated to the pocket. It was a straight back pass. Rocky Blyer broke right straight out into the flat, and fullback Ron Dushney slipped right between the 2 tackles and entertained this linebacker. This action, by moving Blyer out into the flat, engaged this inside safety man right here to come up to defend him. So this was the pattern. Now Snow drove off the line of scrimmage and was confronted with a one-on-one, and the nearest helper was the outside man who was concerned about Seymour, the inside safety. Snow gave a fake to the outside and then broke right into what we call the goalpost, and Hanratty threw a perfect strike as this defender became a trailer, and we had a touchdown in the end zone with this particular pattern. Here's a touchdown pass. There's Snow going into the end zone right there and makes a great grab of it. And this makes it 21-20.
76 yards and 8 plays. The extra point added by Azzaro, and it's a tie again at 21-21, and Purdue is moving with the ball.
And here's Phipps again with the ball. Again, can't find anybody open and runs for a first down out to the 45. Short yardage situation. This is a key play right here. We grab a hold of the face mask inadvertently, and that wound up being about a 23-yard gain as a result of the 15-yard penalty. There's a ball that Tom Quinn almost intercepted, number 19. Off tackle play that stopped. And here's the play where Phipps will hit Baltzell, and we knock one another off right there. Shane and Bergner run into one another. Quinn comes in, makes a tackle, but it's too late. It's in the end zone. And that's the next touchdown.
Purdue took 6 plays to go 64 yards, aided by that penalty.
But it seems like the Notre Dame-Purdue jinx still is intact.
Ron Dushney, along with assistant coach Tom Pagnon, leading the field.
We'll be back right after this word from Ideal.
Hi, I'm Kyle Rowe. If you're a football fan, the next best thing to real football is All Pro, the official NFL football game from Ideal, the good game people.
Harry, you mentioned in the game it was a constant case of catch-up football, and the fact that even at the end of the game we had another drive going, but dropped 2 passes.
Well, Bill, this is very true. It was a game that seesawed back and forth, and I'm real proud of our Notre Dame football team because they never did give up. And even in the last drive, after we fell behind 28-21, we drove clear back down to the Purdue 19-yard line, and it's very unusual for Paul Snow and Jim Seymour to drop passes. And Hanratty hit Snow with a shot right in the end zone that would have been a touchdown. And then also Jim Seymour also had an opportunity to catch one. It was a little tougher catch. He was going diagonally across the back of the end zone, and Hanratty saw him after he had scrambled out. But it did hit his hands, and it could have tied the score up, providing Joe Azaro would have kicked the extra point and still given us another opportunity. But I'm real proud of the way they came back. It was an exciting college football game, and we're disappointed we lost, but by the same token, we take our hats off to Purdue for a great, great effort.
Because of injuries, we had used up our timeouts, say, by the middle of the fourth quarter, right?
Yes, I think one of the things that fans do not realize, even my wife mentioned to me, she said that she wasn't even aware by the radio cast that some of the boys had been hurt. We try to get the boys off the field if we can without taking a timeout.
Of course, Terry Hanratty had one of the wildest days, I think, imaginable. He threw 63 times and hit on 29. That's a fantastic total.
Yes, and the number that were dropped is significant as well. And again, this was not our intention as we went into the ball game. We didn't go in with the idea of throwing 60-some-odd passes. As a matter of fact, I would consider 30 to 35 abnormally high. But the nature of the game dictates the type of offense that you're going to have. And we knew that our best method of trying to get back on the board, rather than to try to grind it out at 3 or 4 yards a crack, we've got receivers like Seymour and Snow and Blyer, and a passer like, of course, Terry Hanratty, where the right thing to do is to get right back on the board if you can by passing. And it worked out well. But we just could not contain the Purdue Boilermakers. They kept coming back themselves with touchdowns, and ultimately we wound up on the short end of it.
One of the other highlight games of the day was the contest between Southern California and Michigan State, won by the Trojans of John McKay. Quite a game, Harold.
Yes, it looks like John McKay has come up with a great one. They have now back-to-back defeated Texas and Michigan State after their opening win over Washington State. It appears they've got tremendous speed, but our principal concern at this point is not so much Southern California as it is Iowa, who is knocking at our door.
And of course, a team which has not had an auspicious beginning like Iowa is very likely to sneak up on you a little bit.
Well, the thing about an Iowa team, their record is the same as ours at this point. They won their opening ball game against Texas Christian, lost their second ball game to Oregon State. We won our opener against California, and of course lost our second ball game to Purdue. And it'll have to be a bounce-back game for both ball clubs. They'll be playing here at South Bend, and I'm only hopeful that our football team will recover and bounce back from their loss at Purdue.
Ara and I will return with more after we pause for this message. Ara, you know you've mentioned Purdue as a traditional opponent of Notre Dame's, but I can think of no more a traditional opponent than the one coming up next, and that's Iowa.
That's exactly right, Bill, and I'm only hopeful that we can bounce back after our loss, and it's going to be an interesting football game, and I only hope that the Notre Dame Fighting Irish come back with a victory. I hope under more pleasant circumstances than this show.
This is Bill Etherton with Notre Dame football coach Ara Parseghian. We'll see you again next week at this same time.